Hey YouTube, welcome to my Blackguard Sword and Shield guide. The Blackguard is a destruction Dark Elf tank that can have both very good defense with a shield or become a great offensive off tank utilizing a two-handed glaive. This guide will focus on the former, tanking with the sword and shield, allowing you to take on the hardest dungeons in the game as a solo tank and stand up to entire warbands protecting your team. The Blackguard utilizes hatred for the class mechanic. This is similar to the grudge mechanic of the Ironbreaker on the order side. When damage is taken or action points are spent, or your Dark Protector recipient is attacked, you will gain hatred, which can then be used for certain attacks. Let's get right into it. I'm going to go over the skill tree, renown tree, tactics, gear, rotation. If you want to skip ahead, go ahead and go to my bookmarks at the bottom here. I want to respect your time, so if you just want to see what the gear I'm using is, then you could skip right to it. Let's get into it, guys. Let's take a look at the mastery skill tree first. Over here at the seer mastery abilities, I found this to be kind of the best of both worlds with just changing your alternative tactic sets. And we'll get into tactics in a little bit. First here, we're going to go all the way up the path of loathing to pick up shielded by hate. Your chance to block increased by 5%, and then another 1% per 10 hatred. So you can have, an additional 15% block here, which is amazing. And you'll also want to pick up this chance to parry, boosted by a base of 5%, but with an extra 2% every 10 points of hatred. So 25% additional chance to parry at 100 hatred is huge. You'll also want to pick up Wave of Scorn. This is a great engage skill to slow all the enemies you're jumping into, or slow a whole warband as they're running away. And you'll also want to pick up None Shall Pass. Very similar to Hold the Line, which you get for free, except this increases your block rate by 50%, so you can easily go up to that 100% block rate, and then anytime you block an attack, you'll lash back out at your attacker for 170 damage and gain 5 hatred. Amazing for if you are all out of hatred. Say you had to hit your sprint key to catch up, you regen your action points with a potion, and then hit None Shall Pass. You're getting hit by a bunch of people, but you're blocking everything, and you just build your hatred extremely quickly. You can get back up to your, additional 25% chance to parry and 50% chance to block. Next, you're going to go into the Path of Anguish here, all the way up to pick up Elite Training. Make your next 4 attacks against you parry or disrupt. Your Dark Protector will also receive those benefits. And I'll go over Dark Protector when I go through the rotation. It's fantastic, and you restore action points to everyone in your group. After that, keep going up, because once you get to Renown rank 60, you'll be able to pick up Shielding Anger. And you'll be able to run the 3 defensive tactics with your shield, along with another tactic of your choosing. I usually go with Rugged, but we'll get into tactics in a little bit. That's pretty much the sword and board mastery tree layout that I like to go with. You can, here, let me save this. You can do another mastery build going for the Witch King. Let me load this up, and you can see I went up, grabbed the shield by hate, the anger drives me, and for the Witch King, which is arguably the best skill in the Blackguard arsenal. This causes all of your group members within 100 feet for the next 10 seconds, every 30 seconds, it reduces the cooldown of their abilities for 5 seconds. Now, if you're grouped in an organized warband with a squig herder and a sorceress and a chamois, they can really take advantage of you using this skill. If you're coordinating, this would be the skill to take, because their damage is just insane. They could just spam 3 or 4 of their big AoE channel abilities in a row and just do crazy damage. But Otherwise, I would stick to this loadout here, because with the Witch King, you're giving up Wave of Scorn, you're giving up None Shall Pass, you're giving up Elite Training. There's just so much defensives that you are giving up as a tank. And especially when you're doing PvE, you're going to be wanting to be in this spec. Go over here, you want to max out Defender as soon as possible. Your block percent is going to be your best tool for mitigation. You can see here in my stats, if I go to defense, block, I'm above 50% chance to block without any buffs, without any lineaments, right? When I get my lineaments on, when I have my additional 10% because I'm full hatred, I'm damn near at 70% chance to block. It's absolutely nuts. You are not going down. And then if you pop this None Shall Pass, you have 50% more chance to block, up to 100. You're not going to get hit. You defend against all attacks with this shield. Absolutely wild. You can see, so the reason why you do pick up None Shall Pass, you might think Hold the Line is the same thing but free. You see, it doesn't increase your block chance. It just increases your dodge and disrupt. What it does really well, and why I have it on my 3 key, which is one of my most hit keys, is because you can defend your whole group in a warband. If you're going in and you want to protect your whole group rather than just yourself and whoever you're guarding, you want to hit this Hold the Line because it defends the people that are behind you. All right, we were talking about Renown. Off topic here. That's why I go for Defender 4 max first, because block is so powerful here. Next, I'll get Feudal Strikes up to 2, and that's because you want to make sure, especially for any PvE, that your base, if you look over initiative, you can see your chance to be critically hit. Mine's below 0%. You just want to make sure you're below 0% at all times. Depth Defender is the next skill I take up to 3, and that's because it's a double whammy, right? It doesn't just increase 1, it increases 2 defenses, dodge and disrupt, and then reflexes up to 3 to increase your parry chance. Long story short, Defender, Depth Defender, Feudal Strikes, and reflexes. That is what you really want to go for, and as you increase in Renown, I'm about Renown rank 60 right now, you will want to increase those accordingly. Probably go with the Feudal Strikes 3 next. Let's talk about tactics real quick. I have 2 tactic sets. One for PvE and one for PvP. I just keep the same mastery skills, and I switch between the tactics that I want. So, for my PvE build, I have it on Tactic Set 1. I'm running Rugged to increase Toughness. Menace here. Enemy monsters will hit you 100% more than normal on all attacks. This is absolutely required for taking any dungeon. And then Anger Drives Me. Your chance to parry is boosted by 25% if you have 100 hatred. And then Shielded by Hate. Your chance to block increased by 15% if you have 100 hatred. So that is kind of your PvE tactic setup. And then if you're going into PvP, all you got to do is switch to your other tactic set. Shielded by Hate, Rugged, Anger Drives Me. And then I switch out the other tactic for Dark Blessing. Once you hit Renown rank 60, you'll be able to pick up Shielding Anger. So you'll swap out Dark Blessings, and this increases your disrupt chance by 25%. Order side has a lot of ranged, a lot of magic. Let's get right into the gear here. I am full Vanquisher. That's what you want to get as soon as you can. I mean, before Vanquisher, before Renown rank 58, you can go for a mix of Red Eye and Ruin. That'll be your best tanking until you can get Vanquisher. You get additional toughness, additional wounds. On being attacked, 10% chance to increase parry, block, and disrupt, and dodge by 7%. Huge. 5% chance to block. And then 6-piece bonus is Bulwarking Presence. On being attacked, 10% chance to reduce the damage being taken by your group by 3%. If you don't like that, alternatively, you can put on another piece of Sentinel because you are wearing the Sentinel Darkband to gain that additional 58 strength. But as a sword and board tank, you don't really care about strength. You don't really care about strength at all. For your cloak, you want to hunt down Ravik. He's a world boss that spawns every 2 hours. Just look up Ravix Greatcloak, and you'll see on Google real quick where to find him. And he drops this 2% chance to block, which is going to be your best in slot for a long time until you get Sov. For my pocket items, I'm picking up the Iron Frost Gem, minus 3% critical damage taken. And then Spicy Troll Mushroom, 80 hit points every 4 seconds. If I was going to run 2 pieces of the Sentinel, I would run the chest piece for an additional 60 health per second, per every 4 seconds, to kind of stack on that health per second. For your weapon, you want to use a Sentry Plain Blade of Tyranny. This adds 20 hit points every 4 seconds, reduce armor pen, reduction in critically hit. It's just fantastic sword. The Shield Bearer's Aspis of Tyranny adds 2% block, 2% parry, 1% reduced armor penetration. You can just see we're just stacking all of this block. Genesis Fragment of Everlasting adds another 3% block. Rough Gunbad Diamond, another 2% block. Sentinel Dark Band with the 6% block tally. The Mark of the Bulwark for 2% block. You can buy this from the PvP vendors. So that you're just completely stacking block. You're stacking wounds. I have wounds in all of my pieces to max out my wounds. You could then, I went over. I wasn't really min-maxing. You could put some into toughness or initiative to increase your parry, dodge chance, your reduction chance to be critically hit. But I just put it all into wounds because I was close. And then you don't really have to worry about having that liniment to increase your wounds. But as far as liniments are concerned, you're going to want to run the liniment of the Bastion. Toughness by 60 and increase your chance to block attacks by 3% for 30 minutes. And then, of course, you're going to run an armor pot, whatever armor pot you want. I have the Lasting Stanchion Ungent because my guild, Goblins Worker Union, has a great health plan, and they provide this to all their members. So this is what I use. And that wraps it up for the gear. Let's get into rotation quickly. When you're in a warband and you're attacking, the first thing you want to do is you want to challenge the opponents in front of you on an engage. If they're coming in to bomb you, you want to reduce their damage for the next 7 seconds by 70%. That is absolutely huge. And then you'll also want to use Wave of Scorn on them. Whether you use Wave of Scorn first or challenge first, kind of up to you. Wave of Scorn is going to slow down their front line from pushing through your front line and getting to your back line. That's what you want to prevent. If they start to get through your back line, your warband's going to have to kind of rotate around to try and protect their back line. But that's a more advanced warband movement that another guide is going to have to cover. So after you've slowed them, you've challenged them, then you're getting into your Furious Howl. A bone-chilling howl that strikes fear in all opponents 25 feet from you. Those affected does a little bit of damage and then reduces their chance to block and parry by 10%. Huge on the front line. They're going to be running a lot of block, a lot of parry, and this is just reducing all that. And then after that, you're popping your elite training when you need your Dark Protector to parry or disrupt attacks to save them. Speaking of Dark Protector, separate from guard, you put it on anybody. It doesn't have to be in your party or warband even, but you take 5 hatred whenever an enemy attacks that person. I like to put it on a tank starting off because we're the first to engage to pump up the hatred, and then I'll switch it to the DPS that I'm guarding because I could pop this elite training and increase their survivability a lot. Guard, you'll want to be putting it on a DPS to start off for the engage, a melee DPS like a Choppa or a Marauder, because they're going to be the squishiest. They're going to be attacked first. You're going to take their damage. Just make sure you stay very close to them at all times. In a dungeon, you're going to want to guard the highest threat. Download Aggro Meter. It's a great add-on. It'll come up on your screen whenever someone has aggro. It tells you the percent, who's ever at the top of that list you want to be guarding to make sure you're taking the aggro for them, because 35% of the hate that they get will be redirected to you. In PvE, you're going to be spamming Hateful Strike most of the time. It's a blow that does double threat, so on any bosses, any single enemies, you're going to be spamming Hateful Strike, and then as your hatred allows, you're going to smack that monstrous rending to do AoE, drop your Wave of Scorn, and challenge to keep threat on groups as you move through a dungeon. And that's it for the Blackguard Sword and Board Guide. I tried to make it a lot quicker, short and sweet. Let me know down in the comments below what class you would like me to do a guide on next. I'm kind of debating which I want to do. Have a great one, guys.